everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am filling this journal. Well, I made the cover yesterday. So the theme is going to be sunflowers and bumblebees. So we're going with navy and yellows, oranges, and then we're making it vintage as well. So I'm using lots of ink for all of the pages. That's why that looks strange. It's just occurred to me. I need to add some ink onto there, but I'll do that off camera. Just in case I make a mess of it. The inside cover I have done in just craft card. So we need some pages to go inside it. So I have gone through my stash and picked out some pages. So this sunflower pages all came from the same pack, which was from the range. It is called Follow the Sun by Craft Sensations, if you want to search for that. So I have organised them into piles because what I like to do is get a range of each kind of paper in each signature that goes into the journal. I only had one of these, which I made last week, so that page can go in because I think that's going to go with the theme. We've got a bumblebee, we've got some yellow coloured flowers on that page as well. So I've got some scraps from where I've started the cover. They'll be kept to one side to be used as pockets and things like that. So I just wanted to show you a few of the different ways that you can do pages. So we can fold them certain ways, we can tear them, we can use a trimmer, and I just thought I'd show the process of how I go about it. So as I say, I've already organised them. We've got some plain coloured papers there. I didn't have any navy blue, so we've just stuck to the yellow and gold tones. Then I've got some tea stained papers, and then I think I've done 3 in each signature of the double-sided sunflower papers. So we're going to work through these one signature at a time, and we'll just see how we go with it and see how many interesting things that I can come up with, because if I start being too repetitive, I will just stop. But I think it's good to have somebody else's perspective, isn't it, when you're doing things like this, because you might change your routine a little bit and learn something new. So I've got my trimmer here. So this is what I tend to use for tearing pages, although I do want to get my hands on one of those. It's a rule with the wiggly edge for tearing papers, and it's by We Are Memory Keepers. I have seen other people using those and they have a really nice effect, but I have yet to purchase one. So we're just working with tearing on a straight line at the moment. The journal itself is, so this is the standard size that I make, and it's 21 centimetres, 5 centimetres spine and 15.5 centimetres wide. So I like to cut my pages at 21, which is the width of a normal A4 piece of paper, and it's got to be within the 21 mark rather, and it's got to be within the 30 centimetres folded, making 15 centimetres halved. So that'll be, depends which papers you use, but these are slightly smaller, so this will be fine to fit in just as it is. And then the 12 by 12 papers will need to be cut. Sometimes I make these a bit smaller as well. In fact, sorry, this page is really dusty for some reason. I don't know what that is, but I want to make this slightly smaller. This is actually a leather effect paper. You can't see it. You can barely see it in real life, so I doubt you can see it on the camera there. Oh, confused the camera. So I'm going to cut that down, and it doesn't matter because we already know it will fit in the journal, so I can just cut it anywhere. And then what I tend to do is just leave a pile to one side with all of my scraps. They all get kept and then used in making the pockets and everything. So I like to fold as I go, and I think I'll have that folded to the inside. did have a bone folder. It's on the other table. Just give it a good burnish down to keep the page where it's supposed to be. So there we go, one page. So once I have gathered all of the papers and folded them, what I'll then do is arrange them differently between each signature. So sometimes I'll have the smaller one on the outside, or sometimes I'll have it on the inside. And I just like to mix things up as best I can within the signatures, within each different signature, so I don't end up with 4 signatures exactly the same, if you understand what I'm talking about, which will be a miracle because I feel like I'm waffling. So let's fold that down. This is the last of my tea stain papers, so I'm going to have to make another batch at some point. Which I don't mind actually doing the staining, but it's when it comes to waiting for it to dry or organising drying it. I tend to use the oven to dry mine. Okay, so next I'm going to go for a sunflower one, and I'm going to tear this rather than cut it. Sometimes it's easiest to find the glued edge to cut off. Okay, because we've got the width of this ruler and it's going to tear on this edge, no it's not, Rachel. It's going to tear on this edge. We need to add 2.5 centimetres, just because I know that this width from the centre line to that line is 2.5 centimetres. So if we add that on, then it means that we can use that rule to tear. That's it, and then we measure it against that line, and against there it comes within the 21 centimetre mark. So as I mentioned, I am going to be inking all of the edges of my papers. Apart from the tea stain papers, I don't tend to do it on there, but anything that's bright like this I'm going to ink the edge, but I will leave that to do off camera because it is time consuming. Now, one thing I do like to ensure is that we have a firmer piece of card for the centre of the signature, because when the strings come through it just gives it a bit more, makes it a bit more robust so that they don't tear easily when you're stitching. So some I'll tear, some I'll cut, some I'll fold. This one's just going to be cut at the normal 21 centimetres. And then what I'm going to do as well is take a little bit off the side edge. And then this creates a little bit of variation with the width of the paper, so that it'll come in from the edges a bit and just add a little something extra. So we can either fold this completely in half, like this, or I can just make one side wider than the other. But with this you need to be careful because, so that'll be 2.5 centimetres on the other side, so 15, it's going to be too wide, so we take 2.5 centimetres off, so 12.5. It's just going to guide me to where to fold it. And then what should happen is this should be a normal width page, and then this one will be a short one. I'll just pop that in there to make sure that fits. And then you have 3 nice layers, so you'll be able to see some things peeking through from this back page when you open it up. And then the other side is pretty much the same width as those. There's another tea stain page folded. And that and go, no, I want those to be together. I'm going to tear this one. I'll try and save the bottom flowers. Did I say 23.5? I might have said that I was going to tear that, but I changed my mind at the last moment. No, that's not right, because I cut it. 21. Get myself in a muddle. So I don't like that you can see the bottom of this flower, so what would happen is I will cover that with something, so I might have a little flap or, you know, something just to make it less random. So there we go, in one signature we've got a nice mix of papers and card stock. I'm just going to go up a tad. One done. So my next pile has my favourite paper in. This one, it's so pretty. Now with this, I don't know what colour we call that, beige is it? It's kind of golden beige, which sounds more majestic than it actually is. I'm just going to fold the bottom up to make a nice pocket that will go down here. And then what will happen is I'll probably stick those while I'm decorating the journal, those two edges, just to make the pocket more secure so that things don't tip out sideways. Just trying to coax that into the right place because it's trying to crease for some reason. So I would love to know if any of you actually crease your pages before you fold them, or is that just like, is that something that anybody does, or do you all just fold them like me? Just do it and hope for the best. So it can be an inside one, with it being a bit firmer. Now I would like some colour. I'm going to tear a smidge off the edge of this one. And I'm folding that edge to edge so that both sides will be short. Isn't that just so nice? Okay, I'm going to take this one out because I've decided that I want that to be the cover one of the signature. Signature number 2. So the next pile is for signature 3. So if you didn't catch my last video, this is a dictionary page covered with a napkin, and when you peel the napkin it's got a white bit and then the printed bit. So the white bit went on the inside, the printed bit went on the outside. So that is a page all ready to go. So I've got 2 of these in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until it is stuck in the journal, and then I'm going to glue them together. And I will glue centre. Actually no, I'm not going to wait. I'll do this now. So I'm going to stitch it as well as glue it. No. Just because this paper is a bit thicker and it can handle a bit more stitching, I'm going to use the tea dyed, I think it was 90 GSM, it may have been 100, this paper. So it's just a bit firmer to hold up against the stitching. And I am going to glue that now so that it dries in time for me to stitch it before it gets put into the journal. So, okay, I'll show you how you can do 2 different kinds of pockets on one page. I think we'll fold these first. I'm going to fold them separately, just to make sure that they nest inside each other evenly. And it also gives us a guide of where we want to put the glue. We know that this is 21 centimetres, so I'm just going to see where the 10.5 mark is. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but as long as it's around about that place. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 lines of glue, and that will make a pocket here and a pocket here, with the opening at these sides. And then this pocket is going to be, we'll do one large top loading pocket. So that has glue going down the edge. And down the bottom. And this will make one big pocket here that loads in from the top. And you can just place the one page inside the other. Smooth it down. And then I'll put that under there just to stick down while I'm working, because this is quite heavy, it holds things nice and flat. So we've got one page there ready to go. We've got a pocket page underneath. Let's put this one in next, and we'll do it the opposite way of the last one. So big pictures to the inside rather than the outside. Now just keep an eye on how the pages are going to be together. I don't like this combination, so I'm going to block that up with something plain. Separate it out. And then it makes each of those pages look easier on the eye, rather than clashing too much. I don't mind clashing now and again, but you've just got to be a bit mindful of it to make sure that it's not too bad. It doesn't hurt your eyes, you know. Because you don't want your work to be painful to look at. At least I don't anyway. I don't know about you guys. Okay. I'm sorry about all of the noise that the papers make when I'm wafting them about. But that can't really be helped in this video, can it? This one's going to be torn. And there we go. Don't really want that one on the inside because it is quite flimsy. Not totally flimsy, but looking good so far. So now for the last signature. I'm doing my design papers first. So when you've got a non-directional paper on the back of one, you can fold it up. Just have a measure there to see. Yeah, I can take that down for a little centimetre or so. So simply folding up, you can do as a page like that. And what I'm thinking is, I might fold this back down so you've got a little, no, don't like it. I don't like the width of this pocket, so I'm just going to take a little smidgen off. Let's say 3 centimetres. And then this will definitely be able to be used as a belly band as well, or as the bottom layer of a tiered pocket. Okay, and I want the pocket to fold outwards this time. So it gets harder to fold And what I do is I just crease and bend slightly just to coax those fibres of the paper around before going for it. So if you've got a scoring tool, I do have one on that cutter actually, on the paper trimmer. I'm too lazy just to switch blades to the scoring blade, but it might make this job easier when you're doing it at home. So make sure you give all of those edges a good squash down. Otherwise your pages are going to bounce open. So as you can see, they're holding together quite flat there. Okay, so I think we'll have that as the outside cover of this pile, this signature. We will take this one's going to be the centre. I wondered why this piece was shorter than the others, but I've just realised because I used that as the spine, so it's already had a piece taken off. Make this one a shorter one. Okay, and that can go there. We can go to the inside. We'll have one of these outside. One of those inside. One on the outside. I'll find the centre. That one in there. So before you stitch them in, you want to make any that are shorter pages. Just make sure that they don't all fall down to the bottom, otherwise you'll have a bottom heavy journal. So you can just move those up slightly before you stitch them, and then grip them tightly when you're stitching them in so that they don't move out of position. So there we go, 4 signatures assembled. Nice variety of pages all ready to be stitched in. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Let me know if there are any specific videos that you would like me to make, and I'll have a look and see if I can do them for you. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you would like to see more, then please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again for the next video. Bye!